Today on our 2017 Ford F250 Super Duty, we're going to be installing the Pace Edwards UltraGroove metal hard tonneau cover, part number 311-KMFA18A44. This tonneau cover is custom designed to fit your Ford F250 Super Duty. It's a retractable aluminum tonneau cover that's going to protect your cargo from the elements. It rolls up nicely into the canister, making it easy to access your truck bed. And it's easy to close with the built-in pull strap. It features stops at 12-inch intervals to allow you partial bed coverage. When used with a locking tailgate, your bed is completely secure. It features built-in T-slots so you can carry a wide variety of accessories above your truck bed, such as ladder racks and crossbars. It's also great for protecting your fifth wheel. You'll just need to be sure you have 2 inches of clearance from the top of your fifth wheel to your tonneau rail. The canister is going to take up about 12.5 inches in your truck bed, and it sits about 9.5 inches in your truck bed. And the rails sit about 1 inch above your truck bed rails, and they sit inside about 2.5 inches. It's a low-profile design with heavy gauge aluminum panels. It has a stylish matte black finish. The operation knob is on the inside, so it maintains that sleek look. It's surrounded by weather seals, so it's going to help keep out water and the elements. The built-in drainage system at the front and rear is going to further prevent water from entering the bed. Now that we've gone over the features, I'll go ahead and show you how to get it installed. We found that it was easier to assemble on the ground, and then once assembled, we lift it into the back of the truck bed. So we'll first start off by taking one of our rails. Here on the back side, we can go ahead and take our protective paper off. Now we'll take our rail and set it in place. Once it's lined up with the lip on the inside of the channel, we can roll it and then slide it the rest of the way forward. Once the rail is pushed in all the way, the hole right here will line up with a threaded hole on the rail. Then we can take our hardware. We'll take the lock washer, and then a flat washer, and then we're going to thread that in place. Now you will have to provide your own Phillips head screwdriver. And we want to be sure not to over tighten, just tighten it up until that lock washer is flattened out. With this side being done, we can go ahead and repeat the same process on the driver's side. Now the next step would be to install our foam gasket on top of our bulkhead. We would install it right before our bed begins to roll to the inside of our truck bed. This is going to help keep water out of our truck bed. For demonstration purposes, we will not be installing this. Now we can grab an extra set of hands to help us lift it, and then we'll set it into the back of our truck bed just behind our cab. Now we can take our installation tool that's included with our kit. We'll take the end here that's closest to the hole, and we need to make sure we have correct spacing between our rail and our tailgate. So you can lift up the little rubber seal here, slide it in, and make sure you've got a 1/4 inch gap. Now it's time to install our clamp extensions. They're all labeled. We'll start with the front right on our passenger side, and they're going to slide on to the underside of the rail here, which is called the clamp relief. To make it easier, I'm going to lift up slightly on the rail, get it in position. Once it's in position, I can then slide it, so we'll stop right here at the edge of the clamp relief. For our rear passenger, we're going to do the same. We're going to install it right here at the clamp relief, and this time we're going to go back and line it up here with the clamp relief. With them all in position, we can go around to each one and tighten up the set screw on the bottom with a 5/32 Allen wrench. You will have to provide your own. Now we can take our clamp grip and slide it onto our clamp extension. We'll slide it all the way forward until we can't anymore. Then we'll take our pivot arm and slide that on to the clamp grip. you get it lined up with the clamp grip, and then you're all set. Now we'll take our hand knob and a flat washer. We'll take our nut. We're going to position it behind our pivot arm. Then we'll take our hand knob, we're going to go through the clamp grip, and then through the pivot arm, and start threading that through the nut. Once it's started, you should be able to let go of the nut, and then we can just hand tighten it up. With all of our knobs tightened down, we can now install our kickstands. These install in the rear clamps only. These are just going to add extra stability to our rails. Now they need to be installed into the pivot arm right here. They can be installed on either side, but they also need to be as square as possible. So they're going to look something like this. So I'm going to adjust mine to where it's all the way down. Then I'll put it through the pivot arm. On the other side, I'm going to put on my flat washer and a lock washer, and then my wing nut. Before we tighten it down all the way, I'm going to adjust it as much as I can, about right there, and then I can tighten up that wing nut. Now we can install our top cover. So we want to make sure that our holes are facing forward, and we need to line them up with our brackets on each side here. Set it directly on top. Once we get one hole lined up, we can take one of our black screws and a Phillips head screwdriver and get that started. And before we tighten it out all the way, let's go ahead and get our other side started. Then we need to make sure that our top cover lines up with the end of our rails on each side. Now we can install our drain fittings for our tailgate end. Now these just slide onto the end here. You'll notice a small hole underneath the rail. That's where your drain fitting slides onto. Slide it all the way on until it locks in position. Now we can take the smaller of the drain tubes, we'll fit it onto that fitting, and then we can find a suitable location to route our drain tube out to the outside of the truck. Now you can trim it if you'd like, but for demonstration purposes, we won't be doing that. And we can repeat that same process on the other side. Now we can install our front drain tubes. The gasket end fits into a pre-drilled hole underneath our canister, clicks in, the other end goes out a suitable location in our truck, such as your drain plug here, but for demonstration purposes, we will not be installing this. With everything installed, now we can test it out. So we'll grab our strap. Now when you close your tonneau cover, if it's too tight, you can remove the plastic white spacer off of each of the clamp extensions to loosen it up. But if there's too much play, it does come with extra, so you can add more. Now we can close up our tonneau cover one more time, close up our tailgate, and we're all set. And that's going to complete our installation of the Pace Edwards UltraGroove metal hard tonneau cover, part number 311-KMFA 18A44 on our 2017 Ford F250 Super. Thanks for watching. Click the link in our description below to shop, learn more, or visit us at Etrailer.com. And leave us a comment if you have any questions.